Okay. Welcome to the Brooke Cerda talk show with your hostess, Brooke Cerda Guzman. Today it is Wednesday. It is Wednesday, November 7th, 2018. Um, we just had yesterday midterm elections, and it seemed to be like it was like I don't know. It seemed like things got to be the same for a little while more. I don't know. But I want to jump in right through because I have a very special guest. Mr. Community Hero is here. And we're just going to be talking. We were just thinking, like, hey, let's get on your show. And I said, like, yeah, I mean, why not? Because he's very passionate about his community. He he always thinking about how can things become um, better. So first of all, I'm going to ask you, well, first of all, how are you? How you doing today? How you feel about being in the United States today here?
Well, I would say it's a blessing to still be alive, sane, and conscious in today's society and Trump's America.
That's right. So I mean, we talk about the N word. Do you think of course, nobody non blacks should not and cannot use it, and if they use it, I think they have to be you know smack. They need to be punched the living daylights out of them because it's very, very disrespectful. But what do you feel about the African diaspora using the N word?
Well, I feel that it's a two-headed coin, a double-edged sword. Um, you know, the N word for me has a different depth. I don't look at the N word or the word nigga as being used as for the guy on the corner with no hope or no vision or no purpose, no values, no morals. You know, the word nigga has lost its touch on society, so we're giving it a flip, we're giving it a twist. You know, we're gonna use this in a phrase where a nigga can be a bourgeoisie that has done nothing for his community. A nigga can be an ambulance chaser. And I'm going to give you a description of a few niggas in our black society. And a lot of people are going to say, wow, this is very controversial today. And top nigga on my list will be Al Sharpton, um, Barack Obama, Jamie Foxx, Samuel Jackson, Quincy Jones, Bill Cosby. And the reason why I call these people niggas is because they have taken a lot from the black community and gave nothing back to the black community with they have gave nothing back to the black community sincerely. They did it in the public eye to get recognized, and that's what I call a nigga.
Wow, it is definitely a lot. Come on. People gonna tell you that these are icons. These are like figureheads and that represent the whole African diaspora.
But they're an icon in what way? They're a fixture, a figure in what way? You know, what have they done for their what have they done in their own backyard besides chase ambulances? Every time a black man gets killed by the police, you hear these people come out and wanna run around and chase an ambulance. What are they doing outside of that? When an ambulance is not around, what are they doing when
There's no cameras.
Shaniqua goes to college and graduates at the top of class. What are they doing when there's no cameras? You're judged by what you do when nobody's watching.
Well, I don't know. Of course, my opinion don't matter because I'm not black. You know, but I just feel like it is a very painful word that that I feel like it comes from a lot of times it comes from the pain of the underclass, from the on the underserved. I don't know if it's the underclass. I don't even know if that word exists. From the people at the bottom. Let's just put it like that. The people who the have-nots. Let's put the have-nots. I don't know. I don't have the words today. So I feel like it's been used. It's used a lot in hip hop. Most of the times is used to in a very negative way. I hear like it's mostly about material stuff. That's such and such trying to you know take over me or my business, trying to like whatever, mostly like that. But I never heard calling the upper class, in the African diaspora being called the N word. So obviously you got a lot of anger right there.
Well, when Barack Obama got in the White House, right? People called him nigga, they called his wife monkey, and they called his kids names. And he turned the other cheek, and for so long, I was on his side, and for so long I was on these other black people's sides that I've named because me being a black man, I said, hey, salute to them, they're living a dream. But then I realized, they're giving nothing back, and they're no worse than the people that they look down on. It's like the story of OJ. Jay Z has a famous line, I'm not black, I'm OJ, right? And the reason why OJ Simpson is not on my list, right? Because once he came home from prison, he realized that he was a nigga. And no matter how big his stardom got, the people didn't respect him as a rich and famous black man. So then I took another turn and I said, well, the N word is being used in the wrong ways. You know, they look down on people that are less of, not a part, in a different class. And they call these the niggas. But to me, the niggas are the people who stand on other people's shoulders and call themselves greater and forget where they came from. And when it all boils down, when they're faced with traumatic situations, they look for this same community to come to their rescue and praise them and stand behind them. But where was you at when we really needed you? So it's going off integrity. Old person said to me a long time ago, integrity is doing the right thing when nobody's watching. So this is why I call these people niggas. Because when the lights are off and the cameras are off and there's no reporters and there's no rewards, they're not around. So these are the people who I look at as niggas.
I see. Well, I told you before, it reminded me of this very famous speech from 1963. It's called A Message to the Grassroots, and that was the Honorable Malcolm X, November 10, 1963. And he hated him with a passion. Uh, these I'm not going to say that they're wealthy because they wasn't wealthy, but uh, definitely. Well, let's hear it from him straight up. You know why he despised them. So let me put on the. I just want to make sure there's some noise outside that we get to hear the Honorable Malcolm X.
Used against the Black Revolution. When Martin Luther King failed to desegregate Albany, Georgia, the civil rights struggle in America reached its low point. King became bankrupt almost as a leader. Plus, even financially, the Southern Christian Leadership Conference was in financial trouble. Plus, it was in trouble, period, with the people when they failed to desegregate Albany, Georgia. Other Negro civil rights leaders of so-called national stature became fallen idols. As they became fallen idols, began to lose their prestige and influence, local Negro leaders began to stir up the masses. In Cambridge, Maryland, Royal Richardson. In Danville, Virginia, and other parts of the country, local leaders began to stir up our people at the grassroots level. This was never done by these Negroes whom you recognize of national stature. They controlled you, but they never incited you or excited you. They controlled you, they contained you. They kept you on the plantation. As soon as King failed in Birmingham, Negroes took to the streets. King got out and went out to California to a big rally and raised about, I don't know how many thousands of dollars. Come to Detroit and had a march and raised some more thousands of dollars. And recall, right after that, Wilkins attacked King, accused King and the Corps of starting trouble everywhere and then making the NAACP get him out of jail and spend a lot of money. And then he accused King and Corps of raising all the money and not paying it back. This happened. I got it in documented evidence in the newspaper. Roy started attacking King, and King started attacking Roy, and Farmer started attacking both of them. And as these Negroes of national stature begin to attack each other, they begin to lose their control of the Negro mass. And Negroes was out there in the streets. They was talking about, we're going to march on Washington. By the way, right at that time, Birmingham had exploded, and the Negroes in Birmingham, remember, they also exploded. They began to stab the crackers in the back and bust them upside their head. Yes, they did. That's when Kennedy sent in the troops down in Birmingham. So, and right after that, Kennedy got on the television and said, this is a moral issue. That's when he said he's going to put out a civil rights bill. And when he mentioned civil rights bill and the Southern crackers start talking about they were going to boycott it or filibuster, and the Negroes start talking about what? We're going to march on Washington, march on the Senate, march on the White House, march on the Congress, and tie it up, bring it to a halt. Don't let the government proceed. They even said they were going to go out to the airport and lay down on the runway and don't let no airplanes land. I'm telling you what they said. That was revolution. That was revolution. That was the Black Revolution. It was the grassroots out there in the street. Scared the white man to death. Scared the white power structure in Washington, D.C. to death. I was there. When they found out that this black steamroller was going to come down on the Capitol, they called in Wilkins. They called in Randolph. They called in these national Negro leaders that you respect and told them, call it off. Kennedy said, look, y'all letting this thing go too far. And old Tom said, boss, I can't stop it because I didn't stop it. I'm telling you what they said. They said, I'm not even in it, much less at the head of it. They said, these Negroes are doing things on their own. They're running ahead of us. And that old shrewd fox, he said, well, if you all aren't in it, I'll put you in it. I'll put you at the head of it. I'll endorse it. I'll welcome it. I'll help it. I'll join it. A matter of hours went by. They had a meeting at the Carlisle Hotel in New York City. The Carlisle Hotel is owned by the Kennedy family. That's the hotel Kennedy spent the night at 2 nights ago. belongs to a Spaniard. A philanthropic society headed by a white man named Stephen Currier called all the top civil rights leaders together at the Carlisle Hotel and told them that by you all fighting each other, you're destroying the civil rights movement. And since you're fighting over money from white liberals, let us set up what's known as the Council for United Civil Rights Leadership. Let's form this council, and all the civil rights organizations will belong to it. And we'll use it for fundraising purposes. Let me show you how tricky the white man is. And as soon as they got it formed, they elected Whitney Young as the chairman. And who do you think became the co-chairman? Stephen Currier, the white man. A millionaire. Powell was talking about it down at the Cobo today. This is what he was talking about. Powell knows it happened. Randolph knows it happened. Wilkins knows it happened. King knows it happened. Every one of that so-called Big Six. They know what happened. Once they formed it, with the white man over it, he promised them and gave them $800,000 to split up between the Big Six. And told them that after the march was over, they'd give them $700,000 more. $1.5 million split up between the leaders that you've been following, going to jail for, crying crocodile tears for. And there's nothing but Frank James and Jesse James and brothers. Soon as they got the setup organized, the white men made available to them top public relations experts. Opened the news media across the country at their disposal. And then they begin to project these Big Six as the leaders of the march. Originally, they weren't even in the march. You were talking this march talk on Hastings Street. Is Hastings Street still here? On Hastings Street. You were talking the march talk on Lenox Avenue. And down on, Fillmore Street. And Central Avenue. And 42nd Street and 63rd Street. That's where the march talk was being taught. But the white man put the Big Six ahead of it. Made them the march. They became the march. They took it over. And the first move they made after they took it over, they invited Walter Reuther, a white man. They invited a priest, a rabbi, and an old white preacher. Yeah, the old white preacher. The same white element that put Kennedy in power. Labor, the Catholics, the Jews, and liberal Protestants. Same clique that put Kennedy in power joined the March on Washington. It's just like when you got some coffee that's too black, which means it's too strong. What do? You integrate it with cream. You make it weak. If you pour too much cream in, you won't even know you ever had coffee. It used to be hot, it becomes cool. It used to be strong, it becomes weak. It used to wake you up, now it'll put you to sleep. This is what they did with the March on Washington. They joined it. They didn't integrate it, they infiltrated it. They joined it, became a part of it, took it over. And as they took it over, it lost its militancy. They ceased to be angry. They ceased to be hot. They ceased to be uncompromising. Why, it even ceased to be a march. It became a picnic, a circus. Nothing but a circus with clowns and all. They had one right here in Detroit. I saw it on television with clowns leading, white clowns and black clowns. I know you don't like what I'm saying, but I'm going to tell you anyway, because I can prove what I'm saying. If you think I'm telling you wrong, you bring me Martin Luther King and A. Philip Randolph and James Farmer and those other three, and see if they'll deny it over the microphone. No, it was a sellout. It was a takeover. When James Baldwin came in from Paris, they wouldn't let him talk because they couldn't make him go by the script. Fred Lancaster wrote the speech that Baldwin was supposed to make. They wouldn't let Baldwin get up there because they know Baldwin was liable to say anything. They controlled it so tight, they told those Negroes what time to hit town, how to come, where to stop, what sign to carry, what speech they could make and what speech they couldn't make, and then told them to get out of town by sundown. And every one of those towns were out of town by sundown. Now, I know you don't like my saying this, but I can back it up. It was a circus, a performance. It beat anything Hollywood could ever do. The performance of the year. Ruther and those other three devils should get a Academy Award for the best actors because they acted like they really loved Negroes and fooled a whole lot of Negroes. And the six Negro leaders should get an award too for the best supporting cast.
So, what do you think about what you just heard? Hold on a second. I have to put on the mic. Sorry. And so, what do you think about what you just heard? To tell you the truth, when I heard it, I cried. It's a huge betrayal. I mean, he even tell you how much money they got, where, what building they got together, and I think those six leaders was Al Sharpton, Jesse Williams, Dr. King. I forgot who else. To right now, on the top of my head, it's just like and you can corroborate these details. It was just like people was ready for a revolution, and they said they was going to take airports. They was going to shut down airports. They were not going to let no planes go in and out. They was going to shut freeways. There was going to be like that was going to be the original 1 million man march, right? That's the name of the march. And so they actually infiltrated it because nobody care about them no more. So they always go to the so-called, the Jewish, the small hats, and they got put on top. They were the leaders of the Million Man March, like he said.
Well, I totally agree with Brother Malcolm X. I wish he was here today. Um, I totally agree with him. There's a big infiltration in our black communities, and if you watch the movie The Spook Who Sat by the Door, the last scene of the movie when his own brother came in and tried to stop what he was trying to conquer, what he was trying to do for his community. He told his brothers after he abolished the black guy, put to an end the guy that was trying to distract or stop what he was trying to do, and he said, if any nigga comes in between the revolution or this organization, you must do the same, even if it's me. So I believe that a lot of times, we're infiltrated by our own kind. If you look at all of the great leaders that was put down, you know, all of them was infiltrated by their own kind. And that's what usually happens because, you know, don't be confused or think for a second that when you're doing something positive and you're part of an organization, that you don't have any enemies within your organization. The biggest enemy will be within your own organization.
Well, I really hope that everybody have learned the lesson, and you know we don't allow this in anywhere. Like in anywhere. I am Mexican, and I see in my country at least half of the country they want to be white, and they get physically excited when they see Europeans. Um, Actually, was it like a week and a half ago? One of the governors, the governor of the state of Nuevo León, he live streamed a meeting with the ambassador from the European Union because now we starting December 1st, we're gonna have a new president that who is for the people and by the people, and we fought really hard to put him in power. So now it's all about transparency and stuff. So he live streamed that, and he started telling them like, well, if you don't want to, yeah, I we have over here corporations, and if they're not paying their taxes, we talk to them. The most important thing is that they stay here with us. I mean, like literally, it was just saying because the thing is like by having white corporations in his home state, you get prestige or something.
Well, this election I didn't vote, and I don't plan on voting anytime soon. And next time you people go out there and vote, I want you to ask yourself: are you voting for this guy in his costume, or are you voting for the guy or the female who will lead your community or lead the nation in the right direction? Don't vote for a guy that has a costume on.
Yeah, I mean, it's that's another one. I was watching yesterday during the elections. A lot of people in Black Twitter, they came out to say that it just so disappointing with President Obama, that they really thought that they was gonna get you know uh, the black agenda was gonna be uh, taken care of in to a certain extent. But I mean, it turned out like these elections in particularly, everybody was complaining because all the candidates, all they had to offer was like, there was campaigning on gay rights, there was campaigning on immigrant shit, but they had no proposals. They had no, what they call it, like tangibles. They have no tangibles for Black Americans during these elections. So a lot of people, they felt like, we've been there, we've done that, we kill ourselves to elect President Obama, and we got nothing to show for it.
Well, me personally, I don't believe that we need a politician or a figure to lead us in a direction. We have to lead ourselves in the right direction. We have to organize ourselves. We have to help our own communities. I go by the name community hero for a reason. And it's because I don't believe in politics. I don't believe in this thing, this society, this secret society that they have amongst us. So, everybody out there that's has a vision or has a group of people that has the same vision. And where it starts at in the communities, it starts in the churches, it starts in the schools, it starts in the community centers. And the church is the lead and founder of information because this is where people go as a fellowship and feel that they're being saved, or they feel that they're being given the word. So, you have to get out there with these congregations and you have to lead yourself in the right direction. No politician is going to help you.
I mean, I do agree, but Uh, do you think why do you think they have not been like a black led, black only political party since the Black Panthers?
Well, the reason that there hasn't been a black led party because black people are scared. They have a saying: only time the crackers is safe is when the niggas is scared, and that's a true statement. As we watched all of the turmoil with the But I'm not gonna go into no situations because I don't want to frighten nobody or give off the wrong views. Like I'm praising these situations, but anytime that you have a black situation where black people are taking it amongst their own hands to get justice, they put them in a place, and then the rest of the community gets scared. So the reason why we have no black led organizations today, because the black man is scared, and the niggas are spreading this information to scare the black man for the crackers.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, that's what it is. It is terrorism. All these lynchings. There was just a lynching in Ferguson. The son of one of the activists, after the police assassination, you know, of Mike Brown. Her son, he was only like 22 years old. And the police still, like, like if it's 1950s, 19, still saying that it was suicide. I mean, when nothing add up. I even have somebody noted, all the the details that made it impossible to be a suicide. It's just like, I don't know, it's very, very, I mean, frustrating that to see that hasn't been, I mean, like, I feel like there's been a, like a plateau. I think that's what they call it, plateau. Things. Um, if anything, it's kind of like stagnant, the situation. And I feel like, as a result, the whole African diaspora in this country don't have any safety, any sense of stability, any sense of um, the looking forward, because it's so volatile. It is so volatile. I mean, it's like we literally went from, like, this is the greatest country on earth. We have black a black president. We have, we have a right. They even call it post racial. Remember that? They said,
Yep.
like, oh, now we're post racial, end of racism. There's no more, like, and now it's just like, I mean, I think, I believe even during President Obama, a lot of shit was happening, but the media was like, oh, not paying it no mind.
Well, today I believe that there's a different type of racism going on. There's still the same, but there's two different types of racism going on today. You have a group of people that are holding a group of people down by any means necessary. And then you have a group of people who are holding their own kind down today. And the racism amongst the black community is very, very crazy, to the point where you'll have these black leaders, which I call niggas, who will distract, defuse, and mislead their own kind into believing that the white man or the group of people means no harm. It's like saying that well he hasn't done it to me yet. He never done it to me. You know I'm not going to say, but I will say I have never been in a racist situation that I was aware of. But then that'll be agreeing with the same situation. So that's just an example. And people feel that way, that they never been in a racist situation that they was aware of. But I believe that if you witness a racist act and you turn the other cheek without addressing the situation, that's no difference than being racist.
Hmm. Yeah, we can definitely make another show talking about racism, because there's a lot. I personally believe it's a whole system. A lot of times people are like, they think, oh, racist, call me a spick, call me, whatever,
Say it.
uh,
Say it. Nigga, say it.
no, I ain't gonna say that. No, it's just like, no, but it's
This is a
silly.
talk show.
It don't matter what kind of talk show it is. It is like there's still a lot of boundaries, and anybody who want to venture saying the N word, they can prepare to land in the hospital too.
I have a perfect example for y'all, right? The other day I was just surfing through the channels and I was watching the movie Hateful Eight. It's a movie with Samuel Jackson. It's a what's that guy's name? Quentin Tarantino directed the movie. And Samuel Jackson was a bounty hunter, and he had got inside the stagecoach with a white man who had a white girl as a bounty. And through the whole movie, I watched about 40 minutes of the movie. And with the first 40 minutes of the movie, every 15 seconds, the white girl called him a nigga. So when I look at that and I say, damn, because Samuel Jackson is on the list of people who I think are niggas. And when I think about that, right, I say, you're a black man that's in your 60s, right? And you feel old that the nigga word is a derogatory statement and a white man should never call a black man a nigga. Okay, I agree with that. But in any circumstances, that should stand for not in acting, not in a classical play. So therefore, how could you be a part of a movie where you're called a nigga every 15 seconds and then think that is cool? So I look at that to say that s- racism is still alive because it's put in different forms today. It's put in the form of art. It's put in the form of TV shows, cartoons. It's put in every form that racism is still active. So the black man has to get out there and really, really put on his armor, put on his cape, put on whatever makes him stronger, and get out there and make a stand for his people. Or else, well, you know how Fred Sanford used to say,
Yeah, I mean they're getting like ridiculous. I mean, I don't know if you noticed that all through, sometimes even like news, press conferences, whatever. They have the Nazi salute with the Nazi symbol. What they mean, like they do the index finger and the thumb, and they're just crossing their arms, and they're like, so they think they're smart by putting it in the movies, calling, oh, it's just a movie. And it is unbelievable that an actor of his stature, of Samuel L. Jackson, it's just ridiculous that I mean, it's like when it was like, I think it was this year or last year's, something at BET Awards, and I heard that Jamie Foxx, he cross dressed again. I was like, it's like, okay, so I mean, I feel like, that was living color, whatever. That was the 90s. That was a different time. But now there's still a lot of black men. They jump on the opportunity to wear a dress and to humiliate themselves, and not only themselves, but just like, I mean, there's the kids watching and everything, and normalizing this shit is just, it makes my stomach really, you know.
well, that's why, with these type of people, Jamie Foxx was on my list of niggas as well. And I go into this statement of, let me elaborate on what a nigga to me is. A nigga is a person who will lower his standards and settle for something that contradicts what he stand for, what his family members stand for, what his ancestors stand for. And that's what a nigger is. A nigger is somebody who will compromise himself for the gain of finance, or will compromise himself for the gain of a stature or position. And
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna ask you about that, because I seen that you refuse to see anybody. I admire a lot of of the black masters like Dr. Jeffries, Professor Cava, and it's like, and you say like just because they have a college degrees that make them an N word. That's not true. You need to really. I mean, they are really teaching a lot. They are following, the most honorable Marcus Garvey school. They're all about, they're Pan Africanist.
Well, to me, you know, you see, I hate niggas, and I hate even more a degree nigga who has a degree to serve white society. And when you're just spreading a message, stirring up a fire, throwing wood to the flame, and adding gasoline to the flame, but you're not out there on the forefront with the people who have risked their lives, died, who are people that are in prison, and you haven't been out there in the field in the trenches, and you're just spreading this message. To me, you're no different than the pastor in the church. You're no different than the people who I classify as niggas. So no, I do not want to hear a guy who was doing more harm to the black community mentally than the white man who was doing more to the black community physically. I don't want anything or any association with a degree nigga or a nigga who is spreading garbage to the black community.
Oh my god, I'm getting the hiccups now. Hold on 1 second. No, no, and no. You know, there's a place for everybody. And yes, when the revolution come, we all need to pick up our rifle and we all need to do our thing. But none, not everybody's gonna be in the trenches. A lot of times, people they gotta giving you the heads up. You gotta have people that are informants, people who can be like, and stuff like that. So no, these are my heroes. You're talking about my heroes, and they are not different than Dr. Umar Johnson, whom you love too much. I mean, not too much, so much. I'm sorry. Too much is impossible.
Shout out to Dr. Umar Johnson. That's my brother from another. He's a very powerful black speaker. And I believe that when a revolutionary comes, the first people that the black man needs to take out is these niggas. Because these niggas will be the same people who will stab you in your back, inform on you, infiltrate, and lead you to destruction. So with Dr. Umar Johnson, he's a very powerful speaker, and I wish him the best praises and blessings, and I hope that he keeps on following his conscious mind, and I hope that he's not leading us in the wrong direction because in the end, brother, they will get you.
Of course not. He's not. I mean, but that is the same thing. They just do it in a different way. I mean, basically, the way I see it, that they are telling you, and basically, indirectly, all of us, that we need to return to um, to what is real, because right now everything it's going against nature. Right now is the maafa, in Africa. That's how they know. When they knew it, even before. They knew there was going to come a time when there's going to be a group of people, orchestrating a takeover and vilifying the great people who gave us everything: mathematics, culture, the people who gave us arts, the people who gave us, that's your people, your ancestors. So I think you got it wrong. I think, like, people in the commentaries, please let them know. If you ever find this video by accident, which I know I'm not getting any views, it's a new channel. I relocated from my other channel, and now I'm leaving this mostly just exclusively for English language. So No, they're priceless. They're like, you know, Dr. Mfundisi. He and so many others, they know how to read the original language from Kemet, the Meduneter. So
Yes, that's cool. That's prouses, claps for them, applause for them. Wish I had an applause button right now to give them an applause. But I forgot what I was gonna say, but I think I was gonna say oh yeah,
you give him a shot.
yeah. They can read no. Um, yes, they can read this all of these ancient languages, but can you read today's language? And today's language is the writing on the wall is right in your face. That if you don't get together, if you don't organize, if you don't come as you are, you will be just another black man or a black female that they will call a nigga. And it won't be in a term that I'm using. They will use physical and brute force against you. So, no, they need to learn today's language.
I'm sure they do. I mean, just because they achieve degrees, I don't mean that they forgot who they are. You know, they are like, and that's the whole point. They're working the same thing because the moment that we was to internalize their teachings, especially the African diaspora, that there was specifically the African diaspora was to internalize those teachings. You know that it is impossible uh, to be enslaved, and you will laugh at the N word, you will laugh at all the stereotypes and all the defamation about Africa and about that because they are really telling you who you are, but not only by telling you, they're proving you who you are, and a lot are encouraging you to read in your own language.
You see, I know who I am, and I know who my people who are strong minded like me are. We are endangered species. You know, we mean so much to the earth. We are so luxurious. We are so much to the earth that they will take us out, pick us apart, steal our dreams, distract us, to capture us. And it's no different than an extinct animal. And that's what we are. We are endangered species. So yes, I know who I am. It's the niggas who don't know who they are.
Okay, yeah, I think I understand what you're saying, but I don't think you understand what they're saying. They're saying that you know even if, let's say, you know tomorrow, next week, we get the revolution, we get them shipped back to the caves, we get them put into place, but then what?
Let me elaborate on that a little bit. What I mean by endangered species, right? There's not too many conscious. And when I say conscious, I don't mean a brother that can pick up a book and read an ancient language. I don't mean a brother that wears this costume. I don't mean a brother that has been to 50 countries and has all of these degrees. No, I don't mean that brother. What I mean is the brother that is fearless. I mean the brother that is strong, um, uncompared, unstoppable, unbreakable. I mean a distinct brother who will get out there, risk his life, put his life on the line, stand in the gap for what he believes in. So that's what I mean when I say a conscious brother. Because, we had it, we got it confused these days. These brothers put on these hats, they put these outfits on, they put these books in front of them, they say these big words and they call themselves conscious. No, what your conscious is to. You're conscious to the language that the white man wants you to speak. You're conscious to the way that the white man wants you to behave. You see, Barack Obama was a conscious nigga. You know, he was a conscious nigga that knew if he stepped out of line, they would kill him. And a behaved nigga gets no respect in my books.
Wow. Wow, 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 wow. I don't, I just, I just don't. I don't think it's a custom. I don't think it's just, it is, the ancients, you know, they knew something that you need to know, and that's going to help you stay, just get your freedom, liberation, but sustain it.
We're in different times today. We're not in BC, we're not in AD. We're in the millennium. And the millennium calls for different times, different actions. You must diversify. And what I mean by that is we're in today's age where all of that stuff goes out the window. It's about what you can do to back up your words. It's about how you move. It's about your aura. It's about who you stand for as a person, as a human being. And no, I don't hate white people. You know,
Why not?
why don't I hate white
Get
people?
the hell out of here.
I don't hate white people, right?
So what
I
is it?
despise white people.
Okay.
And what I mean by despise is I wouldn't stand in the same room with them. If I was on fire, I wouldn't want them to piss on me and put me out.
Yeah. I mean, I'm glad you clarified, because I feel like people, like, I mean, I have, like, you know my country is devastated. Devastated. More than 60 million people, more than 60 million Mexicans starving, and we was blessed. We got beaches all on the east, all in the west. We got gold, we got oil, we got whatever, and they're making us look like fools. I saw the other day a video of a Japanese saying he speak our language, because he national
Dr. Joy, what?
girly. So no, but he speak our language. He say, like, what the fuck is wrong with you Mexicans? My country, Japan, we don't got any land. We gotta buy everything. All our food is so expensive because we don't have any resources. We don't have nothing in Japan, and we are superpower. And it's true, and it hurts. And it hurts to be like, that this so-called president calling us rapists, calling us this, calling us shithole countries. And you know we have to take it. We have to take it. But right now, starting December 1st, we got a new president. I'm asking everybody, don't leave us alone. Don't think what's happening to your next door neighbor is not going to affect you, because it's going to fuck you up. It's going to fuck everybody up. Nowhere to run. We see now all the people running from Central America, and we're laughing at them. Well, guess what? In 10 years, we're going to be running from this damn country. But where? Where? Oh, that's right. You heard the damn Mexicans, right? So, I mean, you got to think. Don't be just be a puppet. Don't be just eat up the propaganda. And like I say, like what I was trying to tell you before we close it out, because we gotta eat. It's just that, I mean, like, look at China. China achieved and have been sustaining, have been keeping up on the top, at the top, because they know who they are. They know they are millenary. They know their culture. They know their dynasties. They know everything. So if you think that all you need rifles and you need to, how to kick ass and whatever, yes, that's very much needed and appreciated. But everybody's needed and appreciated in their own way. They're going to be helping to orchestrate, the revolution. And these masters, they are not just pep talks. They're really giving you the formula on how to, you know, stay on top. So this won't ever happen again. I mean, I can tell you the case of Ecuador, they call that country. They was going on the way up with Rafael Correa, and they got this idiot. He lied to them. He told them, he was like the best friend of the president. So everybody like, oh shit, he's gonna be continuating. It will be for the people. It's gonna be like, we're not gonna be giving our oil and our resources away anymore to the United States and blah blah blah. So as soon as he became president, he took off the mask. The first thing he did was to get rid of the taxes for the corporations. You know, so now there's nothing. Everything is falling apart again. So what I'm trying to tell you is just like, open your mind. Open your mind. They, yes, usually they, when they got a suit and tie, or when they got this kind of attitude, that means you know they're dead weight. They just want to acquire for themselves. They they are focusing on their career, on my journalistic career, my journalistic integrity or whatever. But not everybody, not everybody. So any closing comments?
Well, to all of the viewers that got something out of this, have a blessed and wonderful journey. And next show coming soon. Stay tuned, give likes, give views, and just follow your mind. This is the community hero, and I'm out.
All right, good night everybody. Later. I turn this thing off on the phone.